Hi, friends. Welcome once again to this space. We have the visit of a new restaurant that has accepted the call, and this time comes from Chile in South America. He's Hans Kaempfer. Welcome, Hans. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you so much, Pep, for inviting me. For me, it's such an honor to have this kind of opportunity to share some of my journey in this business of a professional wrestling business. So thank you very much for giving me this chance, to speak.
Yeah, we met each other in a big event in Chile earlier this year, and I believe you are doing a very good job over there. So this is, like you mentioned, an opportunity for people from different places around the world to know more about your journey in the business. So we have some questions prepared for you today. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning of this journey. So can you please tell us, why did you decide to become a professional wrestler?
I always was a big fan of professional wrestling, since I was a kid, I grew up in the south of Chile, my hometown, Bolivia. I was like 5 or 6 years old. I watched professional wrestling all the time on the TV, and I became a big fan of John Cena at that time. John Cena, Shawn Michaels, those both guys, both wrestlers are like my all-time goats, like for me, my favorites. So man, I started training to become a professional wrestler when I was like maybe 19 years old. The next month, I turned 20 years old. So this was on the year 2019 when I first began my professional wrestling training. I never thought I was going to be a wrestler, if I can be honest with you, because in my hometown, they didn't have like a professional wrestling schools, So I saw a post on Instagram, and when I saw it, I said, "Man, maybe this is the chance to learn." I didn't thought like maybe I'll do a career out of it, because I wanted to be an actor first. When I was like 15 years old, I wanted to be an actor. I took a lot of acting lessons. I was on acting schools and stuff like that. And well, I started training to be a wrestler, but why I fell in love with wrestling is because you have to be an athlete, but you have the like the histrionic, or like the I don't know the words, but like you need to be a good actor to express yourself in the ring when you're doing a character. I don't like this. I don't like to use the word acting, because for me this is real, because sometimes people said professional wrestlers are actors. Maybe it's part of it, but it's not like we are actors at all. Like, we are athletes too. We have to train to do this. So man, that's why I love professional wrestling.
Yes, there's a mixture of both, the athletic part and the acting part. I believe those together mix well and made what professional wrestling is all about. So that's okay. You mentioned two of the all-time greats in John Cena and Shawn Michaels, so that might be related to my next question. So maybe those are the answer, but maybe not. So do you have wrestlers that you consider your role models, either for your style or your moveset?
Some wrestlers that I study all the time since the beginnings of my career, like Shawn Michaels is like one of the guys, my influences, Shawn Michaels, Dolph Ziggler, those guys. Man, I was a big fan in 2010 when the Cody Rhodes was doing this gimmick, the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick. It wasn't too long, 10 months maybe. I was a big fan, and I'll always try to look back at his matches, Mr. Perfect too, man. AJ Styles, man. Maybe you don't see anything from AJ Styles on me, but I like his style, and I try to be athletic like he is, I'm not a big guy. I'm not like, if you see me, I'm not like a muscular guy, but I'm lean. I'm fit, so I try to be as athletic as I can.
Let's go to the beginning of your career. So you debuted in 2019, and I want to learn more about those first months of your career. Can you please describe them? How was it?
Man, it was so fun because when I first started wrestling, my wrestling training, man, at the very beginnings, very humble beginnings, if I can be honest. Like, we didn't have a professional wrestling ring to train. So the first 6 months were on the floor with some pads on, you know, and it hurt a lot. Like, I had to learn how to take a bump, you know. I took suplexes, I took body slams, and my back hurt a lot. And I remember maybe it was like the first month of training. I remember, man, I had a concussion. Like, I took a really bad bump, and I hit the back of my head, and I was injured like for maybe 2 or 3 weeks or something. I didn't tell my parents at that time because I didn't want them to tell me that quit wrestling, you know, because I really wanted to do this. And man, I'm here now. So I trained like for 6 months, and I made my debut on September 7th, 2019. And that was the first time that I ever stepped foot on a professional wrestling ring, you know. So that same day, I had like the chance, you know, to learn how to run to the ropes, you know, those kind of things. The match went pretty well, by the way. At that time, they used to call me El Niño Bonito. That was my first nickname. The nickname that you meet me this past March. I was 20 years old at that time. And man, on that show, I was like the only guy who was wearing trunks. And at that time, man, I never been a big guy. At that time, I was very, very skinny, but skinny, very skinny. And man, I was very insecure about showing off my body. You know, I was very insecure about it. But I knew, like, there was something deep down inside of me that told me, man, you have to be different. You know, like, people, when they watch professional wrestling on TV, they see guys like The Rock, Stone Cold, Batista. Those guys are wearing Randy Orton. Those guys are wearing trunks, right? And everyone else on the roster were wearing, you know, like jeans, black jeans, t-shirts. Man, I didn't want it to be like them. So that's the main reason why I wear those, you know, trunks, because I wanted to give the experience. Maybe I didn't have the best physique ever. I didn't have the best physique, but I wanted them to see, like, oh, this guy looks professional. I don't know. It was the first wrestling show ever on my hometown. So man, I took the decision to wear trunks. That's it. I had my first match against a guy who was training with me. His name was Darko. I lost my debut match, but it was so fun because my childhood friends went to the show. My mom went to the show. She was always there. Like, on my first matches, my mom was always in attendance. You know, she was always supporting me. She was scared, you know, always, because I was like the jobber there. You know, I was always losing. I was always, you know, like, getting big hits, taking big bumps, you know. And my mom was very, very scared, but she was always supporting me, you know. Always, she was always there. I had some like 5 or 6, 7 matches after my debut. Yeah, maybe something like that. And 2020, I had my first trip outside Bolivia. I went to the Punta Arenas, who's like the most south part of Chile, maybe even South America, you know. Like, I went there, had my first chance to prove myself to another crowd, people that don't know me. Like, in my hometown, you have your family or friends who can support you. In Punta Arenas, nobody knew me, so man, it was a big challenge for me, and it went pretty well, you know. The pandemic hit, and wrestling in my hometown, no wrestling, because you had you have to be on your home, you know. Those were the rules in my hometown. Like in Chile, it was like that at that time. So I was like 1.5 years just watching professional wrestling, studying professional wrestling, you know, because I wanted to be better, and because I wanted to be the most professional guy that I could possibly be when I come back to the action. So I remember, man, I watched a lot of 80s wrestling, 90s wrestling. I watched a lot of Ric Flair against Dusty Rhodes. I watched a lot of WCW, you know, from back in the day, you know, those kind of matches. But study. Then, well, we had the chance to go back to training. And man, I invested in myself. You know, I bought some boots for when I come back. I bought some brand new trunks when I come back. And that's the right point where I found like the perfect like aesthetic for my character. Like I started using crop tops and stuff like that, wearing no knee pads because I wanted to look as the most vintage look or classic look with no knee pads. And I believe that it makes my legs look longer than they actually are. So yeah, it was hard at that time when it was a pandemic, because my parents were saying, man, you have to quit wrestling. You have to do some other stuff. But man, the dream. When I had my first match, I didn't tell you this, but when I had my first match, my first pro wrestling match ever, I remember I had this match, and I said, man, maybe I should do this like forever. I don't know. I took the decision. Maybe I don't have to be an actor. Maybe I just have to be a professional wrestler. And man, I love professional wrestling. It's like maybe I can do something else, like be on a maybe a beauty contest or wherever, being on TV shows, contest shows, whatever. But professional wrestling is like the love of my life. I don't know. It's like I'm so passionate about it. Like when I talk about professional wrestling, it's like I can be talking for hours about this. You know, it's my life since I was a little kid.
Yeah, I guess that it was very complicated during the pandemic, also for Chile. But then, when you, like you mentioned, found yourself as who you wanted to be, to showcase as, you know, Hans Kaempfer, el Niño Bonito, you got the opportunity also to go abroad. And in 2023, you competed in the US in some organizations. You had some matches over there. So how was the experience of competing over there? And what do you feel was the most important thing that you learned from that trip?
A mix of emotions, a mix of feelings, you know. I went there being so childish, like I had I don't know if that's the correct word, but I was so it's not like I'm the most mature person. I was so immature at that time, so much immature. I wasn't so mature at that time. So I was like 23 years old when I came there. I had my birthday. I turned 24 years old in the US, actually. So I remember being away from your family. Like I never was too many time away from my family, so it was rough at first. But man, professional wrestling comes first, you know. So that's why I took the decision to go there. I have a lot of matches, you know. I train a lot. I met a lot of people. Like for the 6 months that I was there, I actually wrestled like in almost in every single Florida promotion. Actually, I had the chance to be in locker rooms with guys who were, you know, some guys who train or wrestle in NXT or something, you know, places like this. I have opportunities, you know, like CCW. I don't know if you know that promotion. Like in CCW, you saw a lot of ex guys from the WWE. You know, you have a lot of those guys working there. It's like, I believe like maybe CCW is like the most important promotion in Florida right now. From my point of view, and maybe at that time it was. Man, I had a chance to train with. I have a seminar with Tyson Kidd. He, like, maybe this is answer your question, like about what did I learn, you know, like working for television, or what do you have to do to get to the big leagues, you know, like in this case go to the WWE, you know. Man, when I came back to Chile after my experience in the US, everything became so clear for me. Like the Hans Kaempfer that left Chile to go to the US is so different from the Hans that came back to Chile from the US, you know. I came with a different mindset, like understanding what works and what do I have to do to I don't know how to explain this, but maybe sometimes less is more. I don't know if you have ever heard about it. Like less is more. There are some guys that maybe I don't know, maybe they do too much. It's not like maybe they are doing wrong, but if you want to have like if you want to be a wrestler, like maybe to wrestle until your 50s, man, you have to take care of yourself. And maybe sometimes don't do too much. So those were like the advice that I get from guys like Rip Rogers. I was on a seminar with him too. Rip Rogers was one of the coaches in the OVW generation, where you had guys like, man, John Cena, Batista, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin. You know, this guy trained those guys. And he gave me a lot of advice too. I had the opportunity to go to Texas. I training. It was 2 days. It wasn't too much, but I had the chance to. I meet Booker T. Booker T School, reality or wrestling, and we didn't talk for too long. But I remember something that he told me, and man, it stays on my mind until today. Like he told me something like, when I started my professional wrestling career, I didn't want it to be the wrestler that maybe he didn't want it to be the wrestler like the guy who always wins maybe, or who wins the goal all the time. He told me something like, I started professional wrestling, and he just wanted to be like, what do I have to do to make the most money out of my professional wrestling career? Like, you know, if like, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like, find something, like, be different. It's like Tyson Kidd told me that, Booker T told me that. Like, what do you have that it stands out from the other wrestlers? Like, it could be a catchphrase, it could be a I don't know, your look, or a move, or I don't know, your name, I don't know, your a pose, your talent, you know, whatever. But what makes you different from the rest? And this difference can make you win tons of money, and that's what he told me. And man, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do too. Yeah.
After 6 months in the US, it was a different version. We might say an improved version. And we've seen you very active in the Chilean wrestling scene. So what have these past few years been like in the Chilean scene?
I came back in October. I was wrestling. I was wrestling Revolución Lucha Libre for almost a year. I became like one of the top baby faces in that place. Man, it was perfect. Like for me, it was a perfect run. Like uh, the fans fell in love with me, and but at the beginning they didn't know me, so because I never wrestled actually in Revolución Lucha Libre, but when I came back, I made my debut there. So man, it was a long year where they built my character. I built my fan base a lot. Like those guys are running like big shows like every single 2 months. Every 2 months, those guys are running, like big shows. So it's a great chance to make a good fan base. You have a lot of exposure. Man, in this place you have guys with big careers, big names, who come to Chile to teach you, to do seminars, so you can learn a lot. So man, it was a very nice year for me, where I had a chance to wrestle guys like JTG. I wrestled Rhino. Man, I'm grateful about my experience there, Maybe one of the top moments, one of the peak moments for me was in the show where we were, like in Teatro Copurican. Like this big show was so important for, I will say for Chilean professional wrestling, because they didn't run a show in this video like for about 8 years maybe. So it was like the comeback to this big video with a big story, where a lot of years ago it was like the place where they were doing the first Chilean wrestling shows. They were doing boxing there, so it's very iconic. And for me, having the chance, the privilege to be in the main event, wrestling Rhino, who's a legend. Everyone knows Rhino. Having the opportunity to go over maybe, or to win and celebrate with the fans, it was maybe one of the top moments of my career, if I can be honest with you. Like that was one of the defining moments of my career. Maybe of course it is when I won in Revolución Lucha Libre and Teatro Copurican. Like big moment for me. Then I lost the title. And then I started doing other stuff. Like I was on a beauty contest. So I took like a quick pause from wrestling there. Like I was Mr. Mundo, Mr. World Chile, 2025. Man, it was so fun because I'm not a model actually. I'm a professional wrestler, but one of the producers talked to me on like on social media, on my Instagram. He spoke to me, and he told me, hey, you wanted to be part of the casting of the Mr. World Chile 2025? And I said, well, yeah, I will go. I went, and they say, okay, you're in. And I was like, oh, great. Like I told you before, man, I love professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is my life. But if I have chances to get exposure, because I want to be a superstar. Like I really like that concept. Like, yeah, you can be a professional wrestler. That's what I do. But I want to be known in other places, but as the wrestler, like I had this opportunity. I ended up in the contest top 5. I would really love to be like in the maybe top 2 or top 1 or something. But man, that's how it works. I don't know if I ever go to another beauty contest, if I can be honest with you. But after this, I started doing some modeling too. But it's not my craft. Like I'm way more into professional wrestling. So after this, I'm coming back to wrestling. And I started wrestling in another promotion named Extreme Club. I don't know if you saw some. I always post things about those guys, that promotion, I went to Extreme Club, and then right now I'm working. I'm a heel. I'm like one of the top heels around there. I'm working as a heel, and actually, November, I don't know, November 11th, I believe so. I won the Extreme Icon trophy, and I won one belt who was named Next Level Championship. Who is like, this belt gets a new name every time a wrestler wins it. So it was named the Next Level Championship. Right now it's called Extreme Duty. Like, because my character right now is my name, my nickname is the South American Adonis. So, you know, I changed it up because, man, I can't be El Niño Bonito always all my life because I'm 26 years old. And I can't lie. I can't lie anymore. I have to change it up. The South American Adonis is like more fit for maybe the evolution of the character. I like it. I believe it's great. I believe it's a great name.
You got to talk a lot about different topics, and you give some answers about things that I wanted to ask. So thank you for going in advance. I will return to some topics that you mentioned, just to, you know, to learn more about things that catch my attention. So, for example, while you were champion, yes, you had a match against Engranaje Jack, who is a veteran that has won many titles in Chile. So, what are your thoughts on that match?
My thought, man, that was my first defense. Man, I remember after that match, man, the match was great for me. I won't say it's like one of my favorite matches ever, but I really like the match. Like, Engranaje is a legend. He's a legend in Chile. I respect him. He was one of the first Chilean wrestlers that I knew when I was in my hometown watching Chilean wrestling on the internet. He was like one of the first guys that came. So I respect him. I respect his career. I respect everything he's done. It was a great match. My first defense. And I remember after a match I cut a promo where, man, I just almost cried. I almost cried on the ring because I just want to say thank you so much to all the people, all the fans who were supporting me since the very beginnings of my Revolución Lucha Libre career. Because, man, when I came back from the US to Chile, I wasn't too happy about it. Like, I came back for some personal stuff that was going on that time. So, man, I came back to Chile. I was a little bit sad, but Revolución Lucha Libre gave me the chance to come back to action, and it gave me like my confidence back in some kind of way. They give me the tools in a time that I wasn't too happy. You know, I get the chance to train, to meet people. So I mean, at that time when the match ended, I just wanted to cut a promo and just say thank you. Like, I just said, like, it doesn't matter how many times I'm holding this belt, but whenever I had the chance to be in this ring, I will just give my 100%, because every single person who's in the building deserve my 100%. So that's it. It's on my Instagram and it's on YouTube. just saying.
You mentioned some names with whom you have wrestled or shared locker room while in Chile. You mentioned JTG and Rhino, and even though you haven't wrestled them, you have been in the same shows with D. Brian Kendrick, Zack Sabre Jr., Fred Rosser, and many others. So what has the experience been like, you know, and did you have the chance to ask any of them for advice or feedback on your matches?
Man, I always do it. When I get the chance to meet a guy with more experience, man, I always ask for help, always try to ask for feedback, for advice, you know. I want to be the best. I don't want to be the best professional wrestler in the world, but I want to be the best Hans Kaempfer version. Like, I want to give to the fans the best version of me. because so that's why I'm trying to learn from everyone, asking. Like the people who don't ask, they don't want to be better. Like that's what I believe. Like you have to be, I don't know how to explain it, like but you want to learn, you have to learn. You always have to learn new stuff from everyone. And the guys with the more experience, you have to learn from those guys, So every time I had the chance to be on seminar, I ask after after a show where I was with or sharing a locker room, I talked to the guys. When I had every single chance, I just ask questions. What do I have to do? What should I change? Or anything, man. I just ask. I'm curious about it because I want to be better,
Now, returning to this part about Mr. Mundo or Mr. World, what was the experience like, competing in this pageant in Chile? And also, can you tell us a bit about this modeling gig that you are exploring?
Oh yeah, of course, man. I always had friends that told me, man, maybe you should model or something. Hey, you should model. And I always said, man, it's not for me. So when I came to the Mr. World contest, I remember when I had to do the wrong way, like the walk. Man, it was so rough. I was so embarrassed. Like I was competing with actually models, guys who know how to model, guys who've been doing that for years. And I only had 2 months to learn how to model. But the Mr. World Chile, like the contest in itself, it's like you don't only need to be a model, but you need to be a guy who can talk, who knows how to talk. And a model knows how to model. But me as a wrestler, I cut promos all the time, so I knew how to talk. Man, that was like the best thing that I can possible do at that time, like speak. That was the best thing that I was doing there, because modeling wasn't for me, and I was so embarrassed. In the contest was it was fun because I had the chance to meet some other people who were doing different things that I do, because I'm a wrestler and I'm always hanging out with wrestlers, So I've started hanging out with other people from other places, and I'm always learning. I don't consider myself as a model, if I can be honest with you, but I had a great time. I had a great time. I met a lot of people. And actually, I met one of my very best friends from that contest. So, like, maybe I didn't won the contest, but I won a friendship. He was a guy who's supporting me a lot. Like, he goes to the shows, he's supporting me too. He's great.
And now that we're talking about hands outside of the ring, can you please tell us about your hobbies? What do you like to do on your free time?
Man, I try to work on my social media a lot. I try to do, like, when I'm not wrestling or training, I try to showcase more personal, share more personal stuff, like, because I want the people to feel more connected with me. I'm not always an asshole, I'm working as a heel right now, but I'm not an asshole. And sometimes it's difficult because I really love to keep the kayfabe alive. I'm a big fan of the old school guys who want to keep the kayfabe alive. But right now, it's so difficult. It's so hard. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. but I try. So yeah, sometimes I try to showcase a more personal part of my life, like maybe I don't know, maybe do a video where, hey, last night I went to the cinema and I watched this movie. I recommend you this movie, you know, those kind of things. Or, man, I'm drinking a Coca-Cola or eating a pizza, you know, like more real life. Like, I'm not always an asshole. So showing people more, I'm a person too. I have emotions, you know. I feel like everyone else. So, okay, so that's one part of my hobbies. I like to watch a lot of movies. I like to watch a lot of wrestling. I love playing video games, hanging out with my friends, learn about anything. I'm a big fan of being always moving. I like to be always doing something. So yeah.
You mentioned that you're with many people related to pro wrestling most of your time. So when you don't have a match or you don't have a show or you are not seeing your friends or colleagues from pro wrestling, what is a typical day in your life like?
Relax. Relax. Like, I like to train too, but sometimes I don't train. Maybe I can take a day off. Like, Fred Roser, his gimmick is like a Mr. No Days Off. Well, I have days off. I do. I like to maybe just relax, sleep, man, eat anything, you know, hang out with my friends. I like to walk. I really like to walk. But like, it's fun because, yeah, maybe it's not a wrestling show day. It's not show day. But I'm always thinking about wrestling. So I'm always on my cell phone or always on YouTube or whatever. But watching wrestling, learning, and paying attention to what's going on.
I want to know about what are you more interested nowadays in pro wrestling? Do you have a promotion or a country that you watch the most?
Country, man. I remember when I used to watch a lot of indies in the US. But right now, I'm just focused on the big leagues. Like, I watch a lot of, like, the most thing I watch is the WWE. Like, World Wrestling Entertainment is like the number one for me. I watch a lot, like, from pay-per-views from the 2000s, you know, from the Ruthless Aggression era. I'm always learning. I'm focused like a lot on this company because that's my goal. Like, if I don't want to lie. I'm being honest with you. That's my goal. But I know I have to do the work, and I don't have to be impatient. I don't need to be impatient. I have to be patient about it. Like, I know I have to put on the work, and I would really love to go to some other countries around the globe. Like, I don't know, maybe Japan or Mexico, or going to Europe. I don't know. But next year is the year. I'm so sure about it. Like, I feel it. I feel like maybe something is coming. I don't know. But it's like, you know that sometimes you have like the feeling or that something is going to maybe happen. And I feel like I've been doing the work, but I still have time to get better at my craft. So yeah, maybe 2026, it could be the year of the South American Adonis, Hans Kaempfer. Yeah, I'll do anything to make it happen because I have a goal, and I've been working for years for it. And yeah, I'll try my best to accomplish the goal.
Thank you very much, Hans. It's been a pleasure to have you here and to get to know more about your story. Before closing this interview, Do you have a message for your fans watching this, or maybe to your new fans that are watching this?
A message for my fans, man. First of all, Pep, I just want to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk and share about my wrestling career. And I want to say thank you to all my fans who have been supporting me since the very beginning of my career. It's been 6 years already, and I've been in a lot of places. I've met a lot of people, and man, it's been a journey. I started when I was 20 years old. Right now I'm 26, and I want to do this maybe until the day I die. Who knows? But man, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who takes the time to send me a message or share my posts or give me a like or go to the shows, buy my t-shirts, buy my posters. I don't know, everyone. And I just want to promise to all my fans, man, I'll do my best I'll do my best to make you guys feel proud. Like my family, my fans, those guys are important. And that's it, man. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Thank you.
That was all for today, friends. See you next time.
Thank you, Pep.